So this is going to be a lot more of a light-hearted commentary, and believe me, if we wanted to be snarky, if we wanted to be a little bit blunt and maybe a little bit annoying, we could definitely do that. Not that I'm saying I'm not annoying the majority of the time I'm making these YouTube videos, but today we are going over to some trolling, an elite troll job by one of the most impressive Vancouver Canucks this season. You know him as the current leader in goals on the team. With 10 goals so far in 23 games played, today we are talking about Jake DeBrusk. And before we get into the entire trolling conversation as to how he's really gotten under the skin of some Boston Bruins fans, we do have to acknowledge he is one of the top guys on the team in points. He is 4th overall right now with 19 points in 23 games. Of course, he has those 10 goals, so he is number 1 in goals overall. He had just recently overtaken JT Miller, who has indeed been out with a leave of absence, but he is right there behind Quinn Hughes, Connor Garland, and Elias Pettersson in Canucks points. And when you think about what he's been doing recently, hey, we always knew that Jake DeBrusk was going to be a streaky player, a streaky goal scorer, and somebody who wasn't really going to provide 82 games worth of consistent offense, but somebody who would be very, very good when he was on his game. In his last 5 NHL contests, Jake DeBrusk has himself a whopping 9 points, including 7 goals. Sure, you can take a look at it and be like, oh yeah, he's got 7 goals and 2 assists in his last 5 games. What a cherry-picking, yada 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 bum. Like, oh man, why doesn't he pass the puck? Well, it's kind of the territory as to what he does on the ice. It's where he puts himself. It's the areas wherein the puck finds itself, and he is usually in the proper spots to open up rebounds and get garbage goals and tip it on goal, and when he needs to snipe it, he can. Jake DeBrusk has scored some very nice and very admittedly similar goals over the past few games here, as he stands in front of that goal crease, as he tips pucks on goal, as he cleans up the garbage. He is very, very good at doing his job. And I think one of the biggest highlights of this Jake DeBrusk stint was, aside from, of course, the hat trick that he had scored the other night, was the 1 goal he got against the Boston Bruins, which served as the game-winning goal in a 2-0 Kevin Lankinen shutout. We then saw the empty netter go in a little bit later, but Jake DeBrusk had himself the 1 goal to get things going. And the interesting thing about this 1 goal that he scored was that he ended up posting about it on Instagram. Jake DeBrusk included the image of him getting it by Jeremy Swayman with the caption, Year 8, with the blue and green little button emojis there. And the funny part is, this post is such a good example of trolling by an NHL player, and the comment section is irate. I get it, you know, Canucks fans will have a big presence in these comment sections because Canucks fans are chronically online. I mean, look, I built my entire career off of talking about Canucks stuff on the internet, and a lot of people seem to watch these videos. But Jake DeBrusk, even though he is a Vancouver Canuck, all of the top comments on this Instagram post are from Boston fans, and they are very upset. Oh boy. Let's go out there and read some of the comments, and I normally would try to, censor some of the usernames and everything, but, I don't know if I want to do that for this one because it's a very difficult task to censor out multiple names on one Instagram post, and also, I mean, it's Instagram, it's public, it's all here. If you wanted to see the commenters yourself, it's all going to be there online. You could just go to Jake DeBrusk's Instagram. But the first comment is actually from Connor Clifton, former NHL defenseman. This is how you get blacklisted from Southie. Now, what exactly is Southie? South Boston? Neighborhood in Boston, Massachusetts? Yeah, okay, that's kind of what I think that's referring to there. But I guess maybe that's a little bit of a jokey reply because it is from a former player, it's somebody who was in the show. Even Daniel Sprong, current Seattle Kraken and former Canuck guy, went out there and commented saying, hey, he's a super tuck specialist. And one of the replies to this Daniel Sprong comment is from a user named Future Considerations. I can't believe they traded me for you. Oh, that's so stupid, man. That is ridiculously stupid, but it is funny, which I wanted to include in this comment thread here. Then if we go over to some of the other replies, oh yeah, these are all from Boston fans. They're upset. Jake DeBrusk, you're a ghost in the playoffs. This guy had beef with Jeremy Swayman, Boston, or both. Jake, why would you do this? Josh Williams said. Come on, bruh, you didn't have to do all that. Definition of salt on the wounds. How does it feel to make it out of the Sweeney Triangle? Well, this broke my Bruins heart. As a Bruins fan and an avid JD supporter, this post is so badass. Jake DeBrusk, come on, man. You gotta do the BS like that. And, yeah, a lot of Bruins fans are kind of upset about this. And the funny part is, after this went sort of viral, because, you know, the thing has a multiple amount of likes and replies and stuff, Jake DeBrusk actually limited the comments on the post. It seems like a lot of people were just overwhelmingly flooding the replies with, oh, why did you have to do that, Jake DeBrusk? You're being mean. Like, you know, I'm kind of poking fun here because it's fun to talk about the Boston Bruins and the former Vancouver Canuck guys that are on that team and vice versa. But when we start thinking about Jake DeBrusk and what he has been for Vancouver, it becomes a lot more evident to see that him and the value that he brings to this team is so much more than what the current value is for Elias Lindholm in Boston. The big free agent acquisition up on forward that they brought in from Vancouver. Of course, Jakey D went over to the Canucks from Boston. Take a look at this tweet from Hans S7 Design on Twitter. Jake DeBrusk in his last 14 games has 10 goals, 5 assists for 15 points. Elias Lindholm this season has 3 goals, 10 assists for 13 points. So, of course, we recognize Jakey D has been a little bit streaky. He didn't get off to the best start. He wasn't scoring a bunch of goals to open up the year, and a lot of people were concerned about that. But he has since gotten his act together, and he started producing offense, so much so that he has now overtaken what Elias Lindholm has done the whole season. And this is just in a recent few weeks' worth of play for Jake DeBrusk. Now, I get it, it's the quarter mark of the year. Technically, every player, every team has played around a few weeks or so. But still, when you think about how upset Bruins fans are with Elias Lindholm and his production, the way he's played and how he's progressed from Vancouver into Boston, it does feel a little bit good to have that dub, right? And I wanted to make this video, firstly, of course, to acknowledge Jake DeBrusk and his prosperity with the Canucks, but also to talk about the funny Instagram post and the replies that a lot of Boston fans are seemingly very sad about. They're not, like, directing any frustration towards Jake DeBrusk. I don't think anybody's really being serious, but I think it's just a nice, fun little troll, a little jab, so to say, to poke fun at the situation and kind of say, hey, yeah, I'm here. I'm in Vancouver. I'm scoring goals. I'm doing well. I'm scoring against Boston. I'm winning games against Boston. Now, Boston is stuck with Jeremy Swayman, Nikita Zadorov, and Elias Lindholm, all of whom expected too much money, and they got it. And the team is not performing all too well. Jeremy Swayman, please be better for my fantasy team's sake here. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Jake DeBrusk trolling Bruins fans on Instagram with his Year 8 post from the other day. Thoughts in the comment section as to how he has played in Vancouver the past few games here, and where do you see this going as the year continues on. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.